Welcome. This is Ryan of Happy Healthy Vegan coming to Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific time, at least for me, doing our weekly Friday live stream. So, welcome everyone. Thanks for joining me. And if you are watching after the fact, just come if you can on Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. You can just Google what time zone that's for you. Some of you guys, it might be early Saturday, like people in Asia and Australia. But we've gathered a great group of people that have been coming to this live stream for years. We're chill, evidence-based vegans. Typically, we're like, what you might think of vegans, we might not be that. You know, we're not all judgy and mean and stuff like that, as has been said of us, of the vegan cult persuasion. And yes, if you heard veganism is a cult, you were right. You know, most vegans don't want to admit that, but I'm out in the open. Veganism is a cult, and not only that, I am the cult leader. So you found the perfect live stream if you want to be a full-fledged member of the vegan cult. Just kidding if anyone thinks I'm serious about that. April Fools. But anyway, yeah, so if you're not vegan, you're still welcome to watch. If you just want to learn about what veganism is, you've found a great place. Like I said, we have a lot of people here. We can share a lot of experience with you, and you can ask some questions. And if you are not vegan and you don't want to learn and you don't think we're cool, and you just think we're horrible, rotten, despicable people because we have a stance against animal cruelty and exploitation, if you find that as a justified reason to be a bigot, a hateful bigot towards us, first of all, I think you're an a-hole, but you're welcome to try to state your position, and I'll listen to it as long as you're not an a-hole, and maybe we can have a discussion. So anyway, hey everyone, thanks for being here. Good to see all the regulars here. Hey, former vegan metalhead, I'm glad you liked my April Fool's video. Apparently, it didn't get a lot of views, but that's not why I made it. I made it because it was funny as hell. I mean, when I was watching it with you guys on Wednesday, was that April Fool's or Monday? Whatever April 1st was. Yeah, Wednesday. I was laughing my ass off because I already made it. I already saw what it was. But yeah, watching it live, Angie was sitting back here on the couch and watching it with you guys on the premiere. I was rolling. I go, wow, I can be funny. You know, I'm not bragging. I'm just saying I can be funny a little bit. I'm not going to quit my day job and become a comedian or anything like that, but I thought it was pretty crazy. I mean, I didn't have to do too much. That dude, that hairy sunburnt dude in the pool backyard putting the urine on his face, I think he did all the heavy lifting for me. Is funny, you know. I just kind of going along with it. So anyway, cool. I'm glad we have Uncle here tonight. Good Uncle. And I saw Peter comment earlier. So either way, we have some moderation going tonight. So I'm not too worried about the trolls coming. Okay, Angie thought it was funny too. Also, any regulars who skipped it missed out. Yeah, well, just watch it after the fact. I left it. A lot of people thought I was like serious. Someone said, is this some kind of stunt for, you know, a challenge or publicity? I'm going to unsub. Like, no, of course I'm not going to drink urine. I mean, you guys should know if you followed me for any amount of time, you know, that's not... Why would I just all of a sudden randomly switch to some kind of extreme thing that's based on woo-woo? That's like the whole opposite of what I'm all about. So anyway, I don't know. I guess a lot of people are easily fooled or just didn't think about it that hard. But anyway, yeah, Angie was like going, ooh, gross, when he was rubbing the urine on his face. We're thinking, okay, first of all, it looks like he's one of those guys that thinks he's like Tim Sheaf, like a caveman. Looks like he's probably anti-shampoo, anti-soap. So he's probably kind of smelly, probably anti-deodorant because he thinks it probably gives you cancer or something like that. I mean, yeah, he's Schmitz. It's like plant-based, totally safe. Anyway, he probably smells horribly to start with because of his caveman wannabe beliefs. Secondly, he rubs urine on his face and hair, so he's no offense to anyone who's like residence challenged or anything like that, he probably smells like some of those homeless people you might walk past who have urinated on themselves. You know what I'm talking about if you live or have lived in cities. You know, I mean, this guy must just not be the most attractive catch for a potential partner or anything like that, or just anyway. Wow. Anyway, it's strange. One of our followers here, Carmichael's not on right now. He said he watches that guy. I go, really? You watch me and that dude that rubs urine on his face? Like, what's the connection between the two? Other than we're both like older and you know. But anyway, whoa. Yeah, I don't know how universal or worldwide April Fool's is, so I'm not sure. Late model, you knew it was a joke because I never posted premiere thumbnail that early. Oh, it really wasn't for that wasn't the reason why I posted the thumbnail so early. I finished the video Monday night. April Fool's was Wednesday, and I didn't want to premiere my video like at 5 and miss the whole day, so I wanted to do it in the morning. So that's why I chose 10 Pacific. But so that was Monday night. I finished the video and uploaded it. I'll just schedule it now because the next morning I was going to the gym, which I did, and I didn't want to forget and get it lost in the shuffle of that. I might have forgotten to schedule it, and anyway, yeah, that's why I did it. So yeah, there are reasons why I might schedule video earlier, but yeah, it wasn't April Fool's that made me schedule it so early. Let's see, what else you guys talking about? That was nasty. What, the urine drinking video? And late model, more importantly than my skeleton, you know I would never drink urine, right? If you seriously, if you guys see me all of a sudden honestly seriously drinking urine, so check in with me. Something has got to be completely wrong in my life if I'm drinking urine. Yeah, and Fu missed out. I know he's more into number 2 than number 1, but still, it's a close number. He should have been there with us. And hopefully he'll pop on tonight. I thought last week he wasn't feeling that good. Oh, and Angie wanted me to remind you guys, tomorrow is the exact anniversary of this YouTube channel, Happy Healthy Vegan. Started it on April 4th, 2013. Is that right? Yeah, 2013. So what's that? This channel's like 13 years old now. It's in its later days, middle age, old age YouTube channel here. So anyway, yeah. Let's see, Giovanni. Hey, how's it going? No, I didn't see that. VD. She has to put a disclaimer on her videos now because she almost got her account deleted. Wow, I want to see this disclaimer. What does this disclaimer say? Like, what is the gist of it? That I'm completely making bullshit up and lying and I'm completely full of shit, but watch my video anyway, or don't take any of my advice because I'm completely full of shit. Like, I just wonder what the disclaimer is on her video, because I have a disclaimer on my video, but mine's like a smart ass disclaimer. The one's like, what do I say? You've seen it, if you can't handle evidence-based information and critical thinking, sorry, but that's just a funny thing, and to trigger the easily triggered meat eaters that will find any reason to get, triggered. Oh, cool, Travis. I'm glad I got you back on the P wagon again. Awesome. AJ, you watch a show where Keisha, I'm not sure who that is, drink her own urine? Like, why? It's like, Angie did a little Googling for me on it. Like, some of those survival show guys, I think maybe like a Bear Grylls type, like, was drinking his urine. But for survival situations, training for survival situations. So, yeah, maybe. I don't want to gross you out, but if I was, like, trapped under a building, like, after an earthquake or something, and the only thing I could do to not dehydrate were to drink my urine, yeah, I would do that probably rather than die. A survival situation's one thing, but here we are, where we all live within like minutes, hopefully, of a place that sells water and or food, so we don't have to do these survival situation type things. It was Grylls, okay. So I'm not saying never do it, but yeah, if it makes the difference between you surviving and getting home to your loved ones or not making it, do what you can. But in this world of where we have access to food and water, when we're not in a survival situation, yeah, I don't get it. Keisha, the pop singer. Okay, I guess I don't know who Keisha is. I've heard the name, I guess. I should go on the Joe Rogan podcast, Parth. Why? Because I made a video about urine drinking. Let's see. Hey, Uncle, what's that about your mom? I remember your mom. Your mom had lots of freckles on her face when she was a little girl, and heard adults talking that said that you could fade them by rubbing urine on them. So guess what she tried? Oh, really? Did it do anything? I mean, how did people learn that bit of wisdom? It sounds like it doesn't work. I'm guessing. Hey, Peter. Yeah, come whenever you can, Peter. We got Uncle on right now. Yeah, Uncle, don't eat the yellow snow. You doubt it helped your grandma. Yeah, I would be really surprised if it did. And Peter says he'll be on in a bit. Hey, just come when you can, Peter. We're totally cool, man. Uncle's holding it down. He's keeping us troll free. Actually, I'm just doing a good job of keeping it troll free. Not me. I think YouTube is. I mean, they just don't suggest the algorithm doesn't suggest our channel to the anti-vegans like it used to. I'm not sure why. Facebook loves to suggest all of Angie's innocent posts of us eating some innocent food. Some plant-based, option or something like that. Facebook loves to get the hate in the bigoted meat eaters. Not all meat eaters are bigoted, but it targets the bigoted, hateful meat eaters to come and say crap to us, as evidenced by that video I made about it a few weeks ago. But yeah, YouTube has been keeping us peacefully away from them. Yeah, it doesn't suggest us to anyone for that matter, huh? Awesome, late model. You guys got some snow this week. Now heading for a heat wave this weekend. Yeah, it's supposed to warm up again. It started warming up again today. It's still 76 outside right now. So yeah, I forgot Nikki was house looking. Huh? Let us know how that was working out for you. Did you get a place? Oh, I see you're talking about. One of your friends will be 2 houses down from you. Okay, it's got a coastal beach vibe. I'm looking up what you're saying. Oh, cool. I forgot you were talking about that. Yeah, I agree with Heidi. Yeah, Nikki, that's so fun. You'll have to really take advantage of that and make good memories. So anyway, yeah, that's awesome. Angie, we even in our channel heyday on YouTube here, we didn't typically get 50,000 views. That would be considered a better than average performing video for us. But back in the days, I was expecting at least 10,000 views per video, like 20 plus on good ones. We were never that big of a channel, but a lot bigger than we are now. But that was a different time. Veganism was more trendy. Our content was a bit different, and we weren't making as much music. So yeah, now I've kind of flipped the roles around, spending more time as music producers and label owners, which we always were. Just I guess we got to a certain point going, when all's said and done, when we exit this world, do we want to be remembered for our music or our YouTube channel about Happy Healthy Vegan? Not to diminish this or anything like that. Going, no, we're first and foremost, we've always been artists. So yeah, I think it's getting old, looking at your legacy sort of thing. So anyway, Metalhead, if you bought that $7,000 house near you, it wouldn't be a $7,000 house. I'm sure you'd be spending probably $100,000 to get it up. Maybe give or take. Something in that ballpark. That's why the house was $7,000. Someone thought, hey, this house is a liability. It's not an asset anymore. It's just I got to pay taxes. I got to do all these repairs and fixes that are expensive. I just want to get it off my hands. That was the thinking. Angie, yeah, sadly, YouTube videos are disposable for the most part, but music lives on, I mean, songs of mine from 1998 are just kicking ass right now, and songs of ours from this year and last year are kicking ass right now, too. So yeah, unfortunately, though, YouTube videos, they just kind of come, they get their views in the first 24, 48 hours or so, then they kind of fade away. So yeah, I'm kind of... Even though I'm Buddhist and I understand impermanence, I'm okay with that. As far as your legacy, you don't want impermanence with a video that only lasts for like a week or something like that. I'd rather stand behind songs that last for forever, sort of. I mean, right now we're our music's more popular amongst people I forgot, Angie, what's the stat, well over 50, or is it 70? I think 79% of our music is listened to by people who are under the age of 34. Is that right, Angie? We were just looking at the stats the other day. If for our Gen X demographic, we're 3%. So old folks from the 90s that were listening to my music back then, they're gone. I mean, not gone. I mean, they're probably, some might be gone, but my point is, they're not listening anymore. They listened to the 90s. They got their joy out of it. They moved on. They probably have their CDs somewhere. But yeah, we've been discovered by a whole generation of people who weren't born when these albums of ours were out in the 90s, and they're finding the old stuff. They're finding the new stuff that Angie and I have been making on a near monthly basis for the past like 3 years. So yeah, it's awesome. Sometimes you get like 20 views on a video. I'm getting closer and closer to that late model. Let's see, late model, you'd be happy with a small 1-bedroom, but with a 2,000 square foot garage workspace gym. Yeah, I can relate to that, I like to have workspaces, I don't need a bunch of bedrooms, but, a medium-sized bedroom like this can work well as a music and video studio. But if I had a larger space like out in a garage, that'd be cool too, as long as it could be insulated and secured. Let's see. Uncle, joking? Are you a comedian now, Uncle? You're gonna get a cute puppy and name her 6 miles. Then you can probably tell people that you walk 6 miles every day. That's one way to walk 6 miles every day. Wow, Nikki, your home actually reminds you of the Oregon coast. How awesome. Yeah, I've never been to the Oregon coast personally or physically, but I know what it looks like. I've seen it in videos and, photos. It's dramatic and beautiful. Yeah, Heather Sider, thanks for reminding people to thumbs up this video to remind YouTube that I don't totally suck and it should maybe suggest our videos once in a while. Let's see, AG, your house is 4 bedrooms. Used to have stepkids in it back in the day. So now you have like a lot of rooms with no like real need for them anymore. Yeah, I guess our house fits us perfectly for our size. It's like 2 or 3 bedrooms, depending on what you define as a bedroom. Wow, thank you, AJ. Thank you so much for the weekly cult news. So much appreciated, AJ. It'll help. Thanks. It's going to help for all our expenses right now. It's just a really expensive time of the year for us, just paid income taxes a couple days ago, or I think it was yesterday. I paid estimated taxes for this year, income taxes for last year. Paid our attorneys some more. Paid yesterday too. I got my car serviced and needed a bunch of filters and maintenance and stuff like that. I'm still waiting for the bill from my tax accountant to come in. Got to pay her soon too. So looks like I'm not getting the MacBook Neo. I was thinking about getting that new MacBook Neo just to have a little laptop. I tell Angie sometimes, like, I love my iPad mini, but sometimes I just wish I had a little keyboard, like especially when I'm chatting with like one of my large language models that I run here on my big Mac studio. It's kind of hard when you're poking around on the iPad, and you might say, well, just get a keyboard for your iPad. No, it's an iPad mini, so the keyboard's like, Apple doesn't make one for starters because it's a tiny device, and you can get little ones off Amazon. But if I was a little person, it'd be great. But I'm like almost 6'5", big hands relatively, so yeah, an iPad, a mini keyboard, not in the car. So I say, I'll just get those MacBook Neos. I just want to use it as not to run heavy things on it, just as an interface to talk to other things. But I guess that's not going to happen now. I'll wait till next year. Next year they'll probably have 50% more RAM, seeing how what chips they've been using and where they're probably going to go next. So I'll just wait. No bigs. But yeah, thanks so much, AJ. Much appreciated. And then we got to take Bodhi to the vet sometime soon too, for his annual thing because he's old. Let's see. Late model taxes. Oh, you got nailed this year. Yeah, my tax burden, whatever, is greater this year than last year. So my estimated's more. I have to pay more estimated this year than last year. I had to send more to the government this year than last year. So yeah, government, use my freaking money wisely, which I'm sure you're not. Anyway, and I'll say that no matter who's running the country, left or right, whatever, it doesn't matter. Usually our money is not going to good things. Oh, you sold lots of Tesla, so capital gains. That's weird, late model. I'm not a tax advisor or anything like that, but you shouldn't have capital gains on stocks or ETFs that you held longer than a year. Like if you sell, wait, okay, no, that's wrong. You can have so much capital gains before you get taxed, and it's yeah, you can have double. I think it's like 30 odd thousand, something like that. If you're married, it's like 65 odd thousand. It doubles basically. So you must have sold a lot of stuff then this year or something like that. That's probably what got you then. Because yeah, I've never gone over that threshold. I've never sold, I've never sold 30,000 in a year or something like that. Anyway. Heidi, 30% Gen Z don't file taxes? Really? Did you see a headline or did you read a story? Like, why? How? They don't get in trouble? I didn't know that filing taxes was vibes, I'm not feeling it at this time. I'm just not gonna file my taxes, I'm not feeling it at this time. I'm not gonna pay my rent, I'm like, some things in life aren't like feeling the vibe. Some things in life you just have to suck it up and be play adult and do it. It sucks. I hate being an adult and having all these dumb responsibilities, but I didn't know that was an option. There was a news segment today. Wow, that's crazy. Wow, I guess they're not afraid of getting in trouble. Maybe they don't have anything. They don't think they're at risk or anything like that. Yeah, Angie and I were totally not feeling it at this time regarding taxes, but you just got to do it. It's like that or there's consequences. I guess maybe that's the difference between us older generations and younger ones. Maybe not fully realizing. I'm just generalizing here. I'm not saying this is true of all or even a majority, but a disproportionate amount of younger people might not fully realize. And I might have been like this when I was younger too. Might not fully realize the consequences that your actions, or in this case, inactions, have. Is that non-actions? Oh, that's cool, late model. Your accountant is super close to your house. I've never had an accountant close to my house. Right now is probably the closest. Yeah, right now it's the closest my accountant's ever been to my house. And it's still like a 20-minute drive, but I don't mind because she's close to an IKEA, so I can pop by there afterwards and just go crazy and eat a bunch of vegan hot dogs. You like Gen Zs? They're funny. Oh, I love Gen Zs. Yeah, I'm not bagging on Gen Zs at all. I tell you, our biggest audience right now by far is like Gen Zs and maybe really young millennials. So yeah, I'm not bagging on Gen Zs at all. I'm just saying I could have been like that. I was probably like that too when I was younger. In fact, I could think a lot of stupider things I did in my 20s. I didn't ever not pay my income taxes though, but I took more risks and did things now that I would now say like, no, wouldn't do that. I can't believe I did some stupid stuff then. But anyway, it was that mental health. If you were that stupid, you would do crimes to end up in Max for life. Yeah, I got that. I'm not feeling it this time. Yeah, Angie said, you guys, she really knows this dude. I think he's younger than us, about half our age, so he's probably a millennial. Told his friend, he was living with his friend, and he told his friend, like it was time to pay the rent. And he said, I'm not feeling it at this time. And I had to laugh. I go, I didn't know rent was something that you just could not feel. I didn't know I could just write my landlord, or your mortgage company, hey, not feeling it at this time, and just kind of leave it open as to if the feelings, the vibes would change, or just a new era has ushered in where we're not going to ever pay those things again. Yeah, I didn't know some things were optional or not. AJ, you can reflect too. You were clueless in your 20s. Yeah, you were feral in your 20s. I guess that's something. I shouldn't blame it on Gen Z. I just blame it on youth. The wisdom that you gain later on, you don't have it in your 20s. So it's just being young. I think we all can relate that we did some things that we can't believe we did back then. But hey, we're here. We made it, and that's cool. Yeah, the vibe is off, Heidi. I'm not feeling the vibe right now. I'm not going to pay the taxes. I'm not going to pay the mortgage. Not just whatever. Let's see. I've considered that, Uncle. That just sounds like a scam. declare HHV to be a church, become exempt. The thing is, to be honest with you, Uncle, I know that it takes some work and time and money to become one of those tax-exempt organizations. And to be really honest here, the amount of income we receive from Happy Healthy Vegan isn't really too much of a tax burden. You know, it just shows you, like, you know, we're not like raking in the bucks or anything like that. Not bragging, not complaining, just being honest. You know, it's really not worth it. Yeah, if we were pulling in hundreds of thousands of dollars, you know, if I charged $297 an hour to teach you how to drink juice, maybe, you know, I would think about that status. Hey, thank you, late model. California soy latte. I will definitely get a California oat milk latte. This weekend, I don't think I can go tomorrow, but Sunday's looking pretty good. I think the weather is going to be really beautiful on Sunday. Let me just check here, see how the Sunday vibes are looking. Let's see. Oh my God, 79, perfect day. That means it'll be nice in the morning. So we'll take you up on that. Get the California soy latte, or maybe get that little breakfast special, that brunch special that they have at the vegan Italian place. What is that again, Angie? If you're still here, that our favorite thing on the brunch menu, that first item. She's posted some videos and photos about that recently of me like eating it and stuff. But she was going to get going. Anyway, maybe we'll get that thing. I forgot what it's called. It has some cool Italian name. And I told you, I'm really bad with Italian. I studied French, studied Spanish, but like Italian, Portuguese, you know, it just goes right past me. So it's really good though. So maybe we'll invest it in that, because I think that breakfast item, that brunch item I'm thinking about is like maybe $16. So that, I'll chip in a few bucks. I'll get that and their oat milk. What's it called? It's not a latte. It's a marzipan latte. Okay, you always forget the name too. Yeah, her Italian is on the same level as mine, which is not good at all. She always forgets the name, but it's like a scrambled egg. And we saw him carrying just egg in one time, so that's probably the product he uses, with tomatoes and sourdough bread. And it has this thing that it's supposed to simulate like caviar or something like that, but it's not. Or is it capers? I'm not sure. It's really interesting. It's really cool. Angie, you saw that the Instigator spot is closed for Easter. Oh, we'll have to see if the Italian place is open. So we'll check the vegan Italian place. So yeah, we just assumed they would be. I guess we could check their Instagram. Yeah, they're one of the few places that actually answer their telephone. So let's just call them tomorrow and see if they're going to be open on Easter. Or we can call them Sunday as well. But yeah, we'll get that soy latte, the California soy latte. So thanks so much, late model. Thanks for helping us out. Thanks at a time when, yeah, money just seems to be challenging for us right now. It's not the making it's challenging. That's always challenging though, but it's just a lot of expenses at this point right now. Hey Carmichael, you're checking in from magical Rhode Island. Awesome. Got to drive home, but you'll be chatting later. Awesome. Cool. Yeah. If you can listen, huh? If you're driving, I guess you could like just, you know, if you're driving, just listen via your phone. You could maybe plug it in your car stereo if you have that capability, you know, USB or Bluetooth or something. Anyway. AJ, wow, considering you live in upstate New York, which is like, you know, a low population density area, that's not too bad. An hour from your house, vegan cannellinis. And I didn't remember a few months ago, I was last month, I didn't know what they were. And you guys were telling me what they were. Strangely, or not so strange, just a few, I think the next night later, that's one of the appetizers that we had for Valentine's, the special 3-course tasting menu that the chef, I should say, Paul at our vegan Italian restaurant had for their special Valentine's meal. So yeah, I go, that's funny. I wasn't sure what they were, and here I am eating a vegan one right now. So that's awesome, AJ. Cool. Yeah, an hour ain't so bad considering, yeah, where you're at. An hour, you know, I'm sure that it's not terribly like crazy to think about. I mean, awesome. That's not that bad. Angie and I would reflect back to before, like, there were a lot of vegan restaurants in the area. We would easily drive, like, you know, 45 odd minutes to Los Angeles or a further reaching part of Orange County, like Irvine, a deep, far away part of Irvine, to go to some vegan restaurants. Now it's like, you know, we don't want to drive more than like 5-10 minutes. In fact, we prefer if we can walk, you know, so. Okay, awesome, Carmichael. Leave your Bluetooth speaker on. Listen to the live stream. Yeah, you're really not missing anything visually. If so, I'll mention, hey, Carmichael, you're missing something right now. But it's just me blabbing away, so you can listen to that just fine. You know, I'm not all that visually compelling or anything like that. You know, so it's not like looking at Brad Pitt for 2 hours or something. So anyway, Metalhead, you reset the stream and got an ad for bras? Yeah, we get ads for meat too on our own channel. It's like, it shows you they don't do targeted advertising all that well on YouTube. We'll show meat ads on a vegan channel. And even when I'm watching other videos on YouTube, logged in as Happy Healthy Vegan, they'll still serve up meat ads. I go, oh, they don't give a shit. You don't miss your Bay Area commute. What was your Bay Area commute? Where'd you go from point A to point B? Because yeah, the traffic can be really, really, really bad. It is really, really bad up there at rush hours. Angie, why I'm a total babe? I'm just saying, you know, I'm okay looking. I'm not saying I'm like Rat Boy or something like that. But I'm just going, there's no like absolute compelling reason why, you know, Carmichael's got to see me. You know, he can just drive and listen to my voice. You know, it's not like hey, look at me, I'm a magical person or something like that. I'm just some old dude. Let's see. Oh yeah, you took that Michael Jackson seminar. You were curious about what microphone he used. They touched on it briefly, and they said he used the SM7. And you guys might not know the SM7 microphone by name, but you have all seen it before. It's that big, giant black one that Joe Rogan uses. And most other people on YouTube, I see that, are getting into podcasting and vidcasting. They just automatically get that microphone. And strangely, it's not the best kind of microphone for non-professionals, non-pro audio engineers. It's notoriously a hard microphone to get enough preamplifier gain. You really got to crank the pre's up. And most consumer-grade like audio interfaces, like say little ones, like it's plugged into something. Oh, okay. Anyway, they don't have enough gain, so they're kind of tough to use. So it's kind of weird how they caught on in popularity, considering it's kind of made for like studio use, like studios that have like really good preamps that have plenty of gain for stuff like that. But anyway, yeah, okay, that's what he used, the Shure SM7. That is, yeah, one of the things you hear about Michael Jackson recording into a, basically like, you know, back in the day, it was probably like a $200 microphone or something like that. You know, that sounds like a lot of money, and it is, but you know, you can easily spend, you know, $5,000-10,000 on a really good like studio vocal recording microphone. And that Shure SM7, it wasn't really that wasn't its thing. It's just a good overall microphone. It works well on voice. You could mic a guitar cabinet with it. But yeah, it's weird how Michael Jackson made that thing sound amazing. It just shows you talent overrides gear any day. Great vocalist and a great audio engineer can make pretty much anything work. Veganism got destroyed? Wow, who's telling us that? DB5000, Ryan. So how much money do you think the meat industry spent on destroying veganism in the last 5 years? Well, part of what you say is true there. I mean, it's a known fact that the meat industry got scared. They saw the rise in popularity of plant-based meats, and they took a playbook from the like the nicotine cigarette industry, just spending money on campaigns and now influencers to promote meat and promote misinformation about veganism, and connect it to things that it's not. Oh, it's some kind of soy boy liberal libtard thing, and you know, so it's just stupid shit like that. So yeah, trying to like demonize it or just make it look not cool and trendy anymore. So unfortunately, the plant-based industry isn't as deep-pocketed as these old meat industry companies are. So there's no real way to fight back the misinformation war. I'm doing what I can, debunking, you know, meat industry propaganda on a lot of my videos, but you know, I don't have the reach that like say a Joe Rogan has or something like that, and he spouts that complete misinformation that YouTuber, what I've learned, completely, you know, influenced, and probably, I'm speculating, might receive some kind of something, leaving it open like that from meat industry types. But anyway, yeah. But I don't know if veganism got destroyed. I mean, I mean, we're still here. Vegans still exist, and there's more vegan restaurants now in 2026 than there were when I started this channel 13 years ago to the date in 2013. So it's not like veganism's destroyed. Veganism's looking much healthier, better now than it was when I first went vegan in 2010. Like I said, in the early days, Angie and I would drive 45, 60 minutes to find a vegan restaurant. There were none here in our town. Now I can walk to one. I can walk to several. It's chill. So I don't know. So much for the destroying part. But yeah, DB, right. I don't know how much money, but I'm sure it's millions. Is it tens of millions or hundreds of millions of dollars? I don't know. But yeah, it is a known fact that there is and has been an organized campaign of propaganda and misinformation that was and is being funded by meat industry businesses. So anyway, Carmichael, hey, you should be driving, bro. What are you doing? You can't be reading right now. He said Michael Jackson made the most common microphone sound like $1 million. He's the greatest. Well, I don't know if it's the most common microphone. I would say, like you pointed out, the Shure SM7, the big fat one that Joe Rogan and all the podcasters use. That's a very popular microphone, but even more popular than that is the Shure SM57, the little small black one. It's like, way skinnier than that big giant one that the podcasters use. You see that everywhere. I've got one. Pretty much every musician in the world has an SM57. Pretty much every music studio in the world has a few SM57s. And anytime you go see a band play live anywhere, whether it's like at a world-class, like 20,000 person facility or a tiny crappy club that smells like vomit and urine, they're going to have some SM57 mics there too. Typically on like the singers, they also usually have an SM58, but on the guitar amplifiers, SM57. So yeah, I would say that's probably like the undisputed most popular microphone in the world. Not that you guys care, but anyway, let's get back here. Oh, cool. AJ knows about this vegan donut place that Carmichael went to. Awesome. They opened a second location. So much for veganism getting destroyed, right? So maybe you picked the wrong word there. What was your name? DB5000? Yeah, veganism is not as trendy as it was, say, in 2017 or whatever. It's not as big and growing as fast like it was then, but it's still bigger than it was then when I got into veganism, and there's still more vegan options, vegan products. You still can go and get some dairy-free Ben & Jerry's. That didn't exist when I started this YouTube channel. So it's still doing, it's still super easy to be vegan is my point. Assuming you want or need a few little these fun processed products from time to time. Hey, there's VLAM. Have you been here for a bit, V? You have a hard time believing animal ag is threatened by veganism's growing popular. They're not anymore, but they were. That's why you're seeing all those bills trying to get passed that you can't use the word meat or milk unless it came from an animal, because they're butthurt. They're threatened. It's at best still a few percent of the population who are vegans. That's true, but it's not like only vegans were eating these things. Like anyone, like lactose intolerant people, which most people who have lived and are living on planet Earth are lactose intolerant. Dairy-free products are for everyone. That's why Ben & Jerry's calls their vegan ice cream dairy-free, because they're just making it available to vegans and lactose intolerant people. So that's great, because back before all this, the rise of veganism, what were lactose intolerant people supposed to do? They're just forced to eat stuff that's going to be upsetting to their digestion and all that. So that's great that there's options. And I think that's what was really scaring the meat industry, the animal agriculture industry. It wasn't really vegan or veganism, but the rise of products that were diametric, like just complete, in opposition, competitors to their products. Meaning, all right, we had all these poor suckers who are lactose intolerant, forced to eat dairy because there are no options. Poor people, but they're giving us money. Now there's options, and now they're those industries are threatened by their loss of their monopoly that they had. So yeah, I think vegans are a part of it, but the products that cater to vegans also do benefit other people too, other non-vegans. But yeah, if they were truly threatened by vegans, that's just irrational. Like, yeah, you said like 1 or 2% of the American population. I guess they just see it as a decline. Even if 3% of Americans are vegan, they just see that as a 3% decline on their profits. And if we keep getting bigger, okay, it'll be a 5% decline, a 10%. I think that they're just projecting outwards. Like, if this thing gets out of hand, our stock's going to go down. Hey, you're back, Peter. That crazy raw guy. I'm sure he's telling people all sorts of crap, right? Don't eat frozen food, because why? Frozen food's gonna make you grow a third green head, right? Don't eat potatoes. It's gonna make you grow a third green head. You're gonna instantly vaporize, whatever. The guy's just full of crap. I'm kind of thinking, though, after I made that urine drinking video, it made me think that I'm going to expand the kinds of videos I make, kind of, instead of just responding to anti-vegans, or in the case of that raw guy, a vegan who's saying nonsense, I'm going to do more videos like I used to do in the past, where I respond to just health or wellness related bullshit misinformation as well too, because that's part of veganism as well. I mean, it's tangentially, veganism at its core, is about animal cruelty and exploitation. But a lot of us, a good percentage of us vegans are, actually interested in what we eat too. Because a lot of us, not all of us, but many of us want to eat food that, it's going to hopefully do more good for us than harm. So there's a lot of, that kind of borders on wellness stuff. So I think I might do more videos like that, like the urine drinking thing, if it wasn't April Fool's now, I see how I could make a video about urine drinking, I could tie it into how there's vegans that think it's totally cool, to drink their urine. So I think I might do some more vids like that. So Peter, since you're the one that sends me so many videos to check out, to respond to, keep that in mind too. Not only just people saying stupid stuff about veganism, but like Saladino, he'll just make these dumb claims they're not all of his dumb claims are about eating plants. Some of his dumb claims are just like, hey, I'm gonna rub beef tallow on my face. You don't need sunscreen. Screw that stuff. It'll give you cancer. Just rub some beef shit on your face and you won't get a sunburn. It has a UV of 9,000, So I might just cover some more stuff like that. Not saying I'm gonna totally pivot to that sort of thing, but I'm just gonna kind of go back to what I was doing in the past. Just do a few more stories like that, because I found that stuff needs to be debunked. The misinformation about that stuff needs to be debunked too. So anyway, Uncle, you like that no shirt influencer guy drinking his urine? Yeah, the sentiment was scary. Yeah, I can't believe he showed that and thought his viewers think, hey, see this big jug of super brown urine? They're not going to all want to barf. It's just seriously, who watches that video and says, yeah, what are you saying there? Sounds reasonable. Drink this old 6-month brown urine and rub it on your face. I'm going to do that because the shirtless influencer said so, even though he cited no science or anything like that, no studies, just take my word for it. Rub urine on your face, drink it. It gives you testosterone. You can feel it in your muscles. It's So anyway, I think it would be cool for me to respond and debunk to stuff like that. Actually, almost barfed watching. That's something. That's how a reasonable person should react, AJ. I was feeling the same thing too, wanting to barf watching that. I can't imagine not having the reaction and having the opposite when I was talking about. Instead, thinking, wow, what he's doing and saying there makes sense. How come I haven't been drinking my urine all these years? I want to feel the testosterone and clarity that only can come from urine drinking. Yeah, it was gross, guys. It was totally gross. That's why it had to be for April Fools. Hey, Tyler, you said you're leaving the keto brain virus. I've never heard it called that. Behind and feeling a lot better, actually, eating vegetables and beans. Awesome. We eat tons of vegetables and beans. In fact, that's what we're we're thinking we're going to be having for dinner tonight. Some kind of mix of rice, veggies, and beans. So yeah, yeah. I always feel good after that. Feel filled up. You know, got all the green fiber and plants, rice, and got the protein in the beans. You know, it's great. Yeah, it's not TKP. We were going to make TKP tonight, but I realized the rice cooker thing, the Instapot metal thing was in the dishwasher, and it wouldn't. The cycle wasn't going to be done by 6 when I start this. So I said, oh, it'll be done later on, so we're going to make something else. Because we usually on Friday we'll prepare the Tuscan kale pilaf ahead of time. Then I'll text Angie midway in the live stream to start it because it takes like half an hour. So anyway, we're going to have some kind of rice, beans, and veggies thing. UT2 protocol. You know, I'm not a nutritionist or biologist or anything like that. So I know there's different types of B12, and I think I'm taking 2 different kinds of B12. There's like the more chill, subtle kind that's in my daily multivitamin thing, and there's the more potent. Is it cobalamin or something like that? That's in my spray, the B12 spray. So I'm getting both basically. So I'm not sure what methyl B12 is exactly or anything like that. So yeah, I'm just a music producer that's vegan. You know, I pick up things here and there. And all I know is that my B12 levels, especially when I'm doing the spray, are really strong. They've gone up. You know, it's not like I've been going down since I've been vegan. You can make them go up, and I can make them go down if I stop doing the B12 spray and just do the multivitamins. So yeah, it all works. It really does affect your serum B12 levels. So yeah, just take your B12. But if you want to get more precise advice, yeah, I would consult a health professional of some kind, because that's not me. Carmichael, yeah, the shirtless guy, his YouTube channel is Certified Health Nut. How can you follow him and me, Carmichael? I don't understand how you could, like, what do I have in common? You know, evidence-based, rational, you know, logical. What do I have in common with the guy who smears urine on his sunburnt face? Like, how? I'm just kind of curious, Carmichael. I'm not saying you're wrong for doing that. I just don't understand the thread that ties me with the sunburnt dude that smears urine on his face. Like, how? What's the connection there? You actually follow him. You do believe he's a good voice for health when it comes to meditation, breath work, and nutrition. Nutrition, I can't imagine. I'm sure the guy's not vegan or anything, right? You know. Okay, he eats meat and dairy. He just looked like a guy. I just looked at him. I go, there's no way in hell this guy is vegan. He just has the total vibe of a hardcore meat eater. He eats meat and dairy, so I don't agree with everything he says and does. But how can he do well if urine is part of his thing? If you want to just listen for the spiritual stuff, the meditation and breath, I get it. Totally fine. You know, I get it. That's not related to me. He offers a whole different service or whatever, you know, totally cool. But yeah, anyway, that's totally cool. You're totally free to watch whoever you want. I just didn't see the connection between me and a dude who drinks urine. I don't think I've ever frozen potatoes, AJ. That's interesting. Yeah, Sarah too is going, you can. Interesting. I'm reading AJ's technique for freezing. Yeah, read your comments there, Carmichael. Hey, Tyler, what are you saying there, Tyler? You think a lot of these health grifters have to all invent their own signature stack of bullshit to sell and stand out? Exactly. Like, you know, that's pretty much what you see these people doing. One of two things, if not both. You know, they first, I mean, there's the technique to get you scared of certain things, and they offer the solution, and the solution often involves one of two things. It's either like buying their supplements, or buying their coaching services at extraordinary rates, like what attorneys charge. So yeah, I don't do any of these things. I don't sell supplements. I don't coach people or anything like that. I'm not an expert. I'm a freaking music producer that's been a vegan since 2010, and I'm really passionate about it. But you know, I'm not an expert in anything other than how to debunk stupid arguments against veganism. You know, so yeah, I don't see why I should charge someone $297 and I tell them, yeah, just go and chop some potatoes and cook some rice and you're cool. You know, give me my money. I'm my own cult leader. I guess that's what I am, huh? I'm the leader of this vegan cult, the vegan cult. Den MC725 vitamin A. How about vitamin D3? Just throw vitamins out there at random. Yeah, uncle. Yeah, the cop pulls that no shirt influencer urine guy over and tells him, "Hey, I smell urine on your breath." What do you tell the cop then? If the cop says, have you been drinking anything? And the shirtless influencer says, yeah, my own 6-month-old urine, officer. How does that conversation proceed from there? You can do that with an AI. Do that setup into an AI and see what the follow-up response would be. I can't imagine. But anyway, that's it's called role-playing. Yeah, Peter, ingesting your metabolic waste and 6-month-old metabolic waste in that shirtless dude's case, no, not my idea of fun, not my idea of getting in touch with God, or not my idea of like, ooh, this is making me healthy. I feel it, the testosterone. I mean, that's weird. That must be saying that he's lacking in testosterone if his testosterone is so low that drinking urine improves it. Like, mine's so high, I don't think drinking any amount of urine would like affect my testosterone the slightest bit. I like this 1-2 puncher. Carmichael says, you and the shirtless urine dude should do a collaboration video. And late model, oh yeah, Ryan and collabs right up his alley. Yeah, so she's being sarcastic there. Yeah, I'm not going to collab anymore. I told you, I've been burned. I've had multiple people sit next to me here in this room and make videos with them, and they're no longer effing vegan, I can think of at least 3 people right now. So it's like, fuck that. I just don't want to collab with people. And they're no longer vegan videos suck. Like Ali Tabrizi, the vegan marshmallow thing for my kid when we get camping, It's like, it's just like, no. You made freaking Seaspiracy. Then you're making this anti-vegan bullshit propaganda. I mean, come on. I know you're kidding, but no, I'm not going to collab anymore, really. I mean, if I collab, if I'm out and about, film, I don't even film vlogs anymore. I don't see any more collabs happening on our channel for a long time. AJ says, oh God, Carmichael, that would be a debacle. Me and the shirtless urine influencer collaborating. Yeah. I see you're saying, Uncle. The dude's urine, since it's been aging for months, could have some metabolic processes, the fermentation. So his urine might actually be alcoholic. For all we know, the dude could be driving drunk on his own urine. Like, whoa. Anyway, I don't want to think about all that. AJ, Chris at Vegan Zombie said the same thing. He's interviewed and was on camera with vegans who quit veganism. Yeah, cool. I'm glad he's thinking like I am. I don't want to be the only unreasonable person. Like, Ryan, you're being unreasonable. I'm glad Chris understands it too. It's just kind of lame to like. It's like when you collab with someone, you're kind of implicitly or tacitly or silently given like a stamp of approval. Like, yeah, I'm vouching for this person, but you're not. But that's how people perceive it. So if someone sits with me in here, or I'm collabing with someone else out there in the world, they might think, oh, well, Ryan did a video with him. So when it turns out that person ends up being, say, a racist or something like that, hey, why are you hanging out with me? I didn't know they were, I had no clue. Or they end up being a non-vegan, and I didn't know they were going to do that, So yeah, no more. Let's see. Nikki's going. Yeah, sorry, Nikki, I didn't get to talk to you much tonight, but enjoy your new living situation there. Tell us more about it next week, if you've moved in or not. I think you said you just had inspection done, so you probably a ways off. But yeah, thanks, Nikki, for sharing that with us. Hey, Heather Snyder, are you just checking in too? Let's see. What's that UT2 protocol? Ryan, do I like mushrooms? What kinds of mushrooms are we talking about? If so, do you like morels and oyster mushrooms? Angie's more of the mushroom purchaser. I mean, we'll often buy just the regular, boring, little brown, little green mushrooms. But, we'll get shiitake mushrooms and fancier like oyster and other mushrooms. I kind of have a limit, especially on those bigger, more rich mushrooms, how much my stomach can handle. I think those little brown and white ones, I could probably eat like a lot of them. But yeah, it's not like something we're always thinking about or eating on a constant basis. But we typically will go to the market, get some mushrooms. Why am I not surprised, Carmichael? The shirtless urine dude used to be vegan years ago. Not surprised, right? You know, for one of these guys, why I'm no longer vegan. I'm putting urine on my face now and eating meat. It just seemed like I'm not surprised a bit. Let me guess, Carmichael. Was he raw / fruitarian? Was he one of those types? Or was he like an ethical vegan like me? Like animal cruelty and exploitation are wrong, slaughterhouses are wrong, and or was he doing a vegan diet for his spiritual and personal health journey and eating like pure foods, raw? Let me guess. I'm betting $5 it's the latter, right? I can't ever see him. I can't imagine the shirtless urine dude being anything like me or Joey Carbstrong or Earthling Ed or something like that, or Mike the vegan. We're what we have in common. We're animal rights first, and we eat the diet because that's the only option. Plants and fungi, if you really are against animal cruelty and exploitation. So let me guess, was he one of those health-oriented, selfish vegans that was eating purity foods? Let me guess, Carmichael. Let me know. What happened? You know what happened, AJ. We know this story. We don't even have to have Carmichael answer it. I'm like 98% sure I know how the story's going to go. But I want to get confirmation though, Carmichael, so let us know. You're not sure if he was raw. You think so, but not sure. He's definitely not. He was not vegan then. He said he had to quit because he was sick and skinny fat. Well, how come other vegans don't get sick and skinny fat? I'm still waiting to get sick. Some can argue I'm skinny fat. I don't think I am. My body mass index is, I think, 23.6 or 8. It was under 24 BMI. So anyway, but he was not vegan then. If it wasn't ethical, it's not vegan. He was eating a plant-based diet for selfish personal reasons. I'm not saying selfish in a bad way, because I contrast that with being vegan. It's the most unselfish thing you can do. It's selfish. You're doing it for a different person's self, a person being an animal, not having animals die for you. So yeah. Oh yeah, his vegan Jeopardy thing, huh, late model? Yeah, we participated in that once. Yeah, you participated in it too? Awesome. Yeah, Mike's totally cool. I'm going to go on a limb. I hung out with Mike a couple years ago when he was visiting. Him and his wife were visiting her sister in San Diego. We met them in Temecula, hung out for the day. He's chill. You're not going to see Mike making I'm no longer vegan, guys, because of I had this pain in my arm, and I figured it's because I'm vegan, so I ate an egg and I had God come to me and orgasm and all this stuff, so I'm gonna eat meat now. No, I don't think Mike's ever gonna do that. Like I said, I don't think Mike the vegan will ever do that. Chris Vegan Zombie will never do that. Joey Carbstrong, everything. These are people I trust. Nimai Delgado, as far as I know, he's never eaten meat his entire life. Simnet Nutrition. These are people I trust. AJ asked, Sarah, didn't you, a late model, didn't you say at the start of the chat you had a dream about Bob? Bob, who used to be on our live streams, who eventually got banned for being a horrible person? Let's see. Yes, but no face to him in your dream. Just, it was the concept of Bob. Bob Hill, right? Was that his name? The concept of Bob. I know you're saying. I don't know what he looks like either. I've never seen him. I don't know if what he looks like or anything. I don't even know if it's a he. I assume it is, but he's just a concept, huh? Carmichael, so the shirtless urine dude, life feeds on life and all that stuff. Yeah, totally. Life feeds on life. Vegans eat plants. Like, I hate when people use that argument, life's got to eat other life. Yeah, of course, we eat plants. Plants who aren't sentient. Plants who aren't conscious. Plants who are not agents. Plants who don't make plans. Plants who don't have families. Yeah, we eat life. Like, vegans don't eat rocks or plastic, yeah, of course. But we eat life that's not going to, like scream when it's ripped apart from its family and slaughtered for you to eat a burger. No, just eat some plants, so yeah, is that what he's saying? Life's got to eat life? Yeah, absolutely, 100% true, and that in no way is a threat to veganism. It's a true fact about biology. If vegans didn't eat life, we would be dead. It's just how it works. We just don't eat life that has consciousness. Carmichael, that's one of the most valid reasons for quitting veganism, having a little constipation. Eat more meat and get more backed up, right? Cool, I'm glad you like the channels I mentioned there. Hey, you're right, Sarah, or late model. We are at halfway through. We are 1 hour into the live stream. And last week, yeah, I remember I cut a little short. I was really tired that day and really hungry. I think I'm cool today. I got decent sleep. Not the best. Yesterday I got some really bad sleep. I got some decent sleep tonight, so I think I'm cool. So yeah, we'll probably have a regular length live stream tonight. Hi, do you remember when you thought he was in another comment section on another channel under the name Lance Hill? You think, and you said, "Is that you, Bob?" Did he respond or not? That's funny. If anyone ran into Bob Hill later on. What's that, VLAM? Who knew going vegan for selfish reasons, i.e. health, would be unsustainable? Well, that's not really... maybe I didn't phrase that perfectly. Like, it's impossible to go veganism for health because that's not what veganism is. It's a stance against animal cruelty and exploitation. I'm not saying this is bad. A lot of cool people, like, say, Rich Roll, they went plant-based for health, and then once they were plant-based for a certain amount of time, they learned more, then they became vegan, then they started believing, yeah, animal cruelty and exploitation are wrong, I'm vegan now. But yeah, I don't want to diminish people who go plant-based for health, but yeah, if you go plant-based or vegan for health, you can't. It's impossible, because to go vegan means you're not doing it for your health, you're doing it so that animals don't have to be exploited and killed. So I hope I'm not making fun of that, because a lot of us, when came to this through health reasons, and then learned, oh yeah, animals, yeah, yeah, totally, I get it. Oh, VLAM, you definitely remember seeing Bob's name in another vegan channel a long time ago. Yeah, back when I banned him, or back in that day when he was able to still come here, you guys told me he would go to other vegan channels and do the same bullshit routine he'd do with me and try to play devil's advocate and try to get people agitated and stuff like that. He was not an asset to our community, and he turned out to be a real low-life piece of shit person. So that's why I banned him. You've been sleeping so well lately. That's good. Been hitting the gym at 6:30 late model. Awesome. Your favorite time to train. Wow. I've never seen my gym at 6:30. I got to my gym today about 11:15 or so. But I was able to walk Angie. We hung out at a closer coffee shop, not the vegan Italian one, but a closer one. She got her latte or something like that. I just hung out and chilled with her. Got back, walked back, then I went to the gym. So I spent some little quality time with my wife this morning. We have this thing when the weather's like cooler, like not heat waves, when you get a nice sunny morning, you gotta snatch it, because usually it turns cloudy and cooler in the afternoon. Didn't happen today, but anyway, we snatched it. You can typo all you want, guys. No problem. Edibles. I had like a quarter of an edible one like a few nights. Oh, maybe it was last week. I should have had a whole half one. But I just wanted to just be chill that night, go to sleep well. Hey, Fulmar Music, welcome. Veganism isn't like eating pure cholesterol or fried grease. It's generally on the healthy side of things. Generally, yeah, there's ways to construct an unhealthy vegan diet if you go out of your way to try to. But generally, eating plants is pretty good for you. And I dig Ooh, burped. Veganism debunked. I dig veganism too. What's that? AJ, your stoner godson told you the strain of pot that relaxes you is nicknamed like indica and sativa couch. Like, yeah, it's sometimes called couch lock. You know. I remember one time I was reading a review of a strain. It was so chill, so relaxing. They called it Snoop Dogg Crippling. You know, back when Snoop Dogg was still smoking weed. I thought he stopped or something like that. Back in the heyday when he was like full on smoking like all the time. Snoop Dogg Crippling. Couch. I get it now. Couch. Uncle, what's my usual dose? No, these gummies that Late Model got us onto, I believe they're 10 milligrams each. But they're supposed to be halved, I think. So I usually take 5, and it's 5. It's 5 milligrams of THC, CBD, and CBD. Another one. I forgot. There's another cannabinoid that's still being studied more. But anyway, that's my favorite. And I've tried a few of the those what's that brand called again? I know we're not sponsored, Late Model, but yeah, I like that. I tried maybe 3 or 4 of their different varieties, and that was my favorite one. The Camino Sours, I think they're called. But yeah, and they're vegan. They're like little gummies, they're fully vegan. Yeah, 5 is good. 5's when we're going hardcore, but I usually do 2.5 grams. Well, basically, we'll get the. Yeah, I did 2.5 the other night, but often we'll do 5. I think that's right, because I think they come as 10s. But anyway, you guys don't care about this stuff. I'm just lucky. I can walk to a place and get those as well. That's what I like about my little town here. That's one really good thing, is there's so many walkable places here. Like when I was without a car, like for like a week last year, when that like high-speed chase guy hit my car and almost killed me, and my car was getting repaired. I could have gotten a discount on a rental car. I said, no, I'm good. I just could walk around. You know, I remember before I took the car and went to the market, did a big shopping trip, got all my stuff, but I still went to my local ones and walked around and got stuff, took orders to the local post office, so it's easy to walk around here. Hey, Luciano, what's up? VLAM, you want to ask a contentious question? All right, VLAM, let's see. We all agree that you can't be a serious environmentalist if you aren't vegan. I truly believe there's a true environmentalist would see that a plant-based diet is pretty much necessary if you really are serious about the environment. Anyway, what about the reverse? Can you be a serious vegan if you're not a serious environmentalist? I think so, VLAM, because veganism is not really about the environment. It's good, just like it's good for your health, right? It can be good for your health, and it's generally good for the environment as well, as far as deforestation, greenhouse gas emissions, pollution, all that stuff. So my point is you can be someone who doesn't give a crap about the environment. You don't care. You want global warming to happen or whatever. You don't believe in it. It's a hoax. You don't care about trees. You think trees are evil. I don't know. I'm being devil's advocate here. But you can still think animal cruelty and exploitation are wrong and be a vegan. So no, I don't think so. I don't think there's a connection there that a vegan has to be an environmentalist too. Because really, it's a stance against animal cruelty and exploitation that happens to have really great benefits for the environment, and it has really great benefits for your health typically as well. So those are just nice side benefits. However, like me, you can be a vegan in this regard, a true ethical vegan, and also be pro-environment, pro-healthy things. There's nothing incompatible, but it's not necessary. It's a path that I intentionally chose for myself, but I could have easily not been pro-environment or pro-health. But that's not who I am. I'm naturally wanting to be supportive of those things, because I believe in having a healthy planet for us all to live in, and all future generations of not only humans but animals too. I feel it's our ethical duty to not leave the planet all effed up for the next generations of living beings. That's just my stance, but a lot of people don't have that ethical belief. So anyway, I'm not trying to put myself on a high horse or anything like that. I'm just telling you how I think. Indica. You would smoke a whole bowl of indica and to make you feel your heartbeat. Yeah, that's one thing. It does increase like your heart. Yeah, it can be a little trippy sometimes if you're if in the wrong circumstances. Oh, late model. You have your non-god godfather as a scientist who works for the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency. Hardcore environmentalist, but eats meat. You don't understand it. You ask him, like, what's the number one cause of greenhouse gas emissions? Animal agriculture. That alone should end the debate if it's okay to be super pro-environmentalist and also eating the products that are hastening climate change and also hastening deforestation and all sorts of climate ills. Yeah, I don't get it either. I don't see, it's just some kind of cognitive dissonance, right? It's the same kind of dissonance that like when someone says, oh, I love animals. I love dogs and cats and all that stuff. But then after you love your dog and cat, you'll still go buy some chicken and fry it up and steak and all that stuff and eat it when you don't have to. But what about those animals? I think people like to compartmentalize and keep distinct and separate concepts that should be united. It's one and the same. If you love animals, you shouldn't eat animals. If you are pro-environment, you shouldn't do the things every day that you don't have to do, like eat animal products, those things that are horrible for the environment. So yeah. So VLAM says, veganism concerns animals. Environmentalism concerns everyone and everything. Without a healthy environment, which is the life support systems we all depend on, everyone suffers. I agree with you 100%, VLAM. A lot of people don't have the ethical belief that you have of that. We're not talking about the ethical stance against animal cruelty and exploitation right now. You and I are both on the same page that it's an ethical imperative that we have a planet, that we don't do things to our planet to destroy it as far as being our life support system. It makes so much sense. We only have one planet. If we screw up our life support system, we're gone, all of us. And to me, that seems like an ethical, moral imperative to not destroy our planet. I think you and I are on the same page there, VLAM. So that's a separate moral issue. I just talked about the morality of that, but which is a separate moral issue from the moral issue about animal cruelty and exploitation. So yeah, I have several moral stances I follow. Absolutely. Cognitive dissonance. Your uncle or your godfather, dude, he's a great chef. He won't give it up. Then yeah, it really makes me wonder how committed someone like that, and I'm not saying he's a bad person. I see this all the time in environmentalists. How much skin do they have in the game? How committed are they to actually making the change happen that they want to see? If they can't just stop eating meat and just not be part of the biggest contributor of greenhouse gas emissions, how serious are they? That's cool. They do science and stuff like that and figure the problems out. But if once you see part of the solution right in front of you and refuse to do anything about it because of convenience, it really makes me question how serious you are. Peter asks, will lab-grown meat end animal exploitation? I don't know if it'll end it, but I think it could severely help reduce animal cruelty and exploitation. Especially if you get more people to eat it, because hopefully they can make it cheaper than meat, because meat should be really expensive. It shouldn't be subsidized. So people are paying the true cost of meat, and we can have there could be a competing product, lab-grown meat, that undercuts the price, and people can get over the meat industry propaganda, the millions of dollars spent to like demonize competing products like plant-based meats, or in this case lab-grown meat. If that won't be an issue, I hope people embrace it, and I think it would be a win. It'd be an environmental win. It'd be a win for the animals. So I'm totally for it catching on with the mass non-vegan public. Yeah, John Robbins. Yeah, Diet for a New America, Cheese of the Mouse. I haven't heard that name for a bit. Yeah, it's one of the early books I read too when I was getting into veganism and plant-based. Wow, I never went on to the Empire State Building, Carmichael. Yeah, I don't think I've ever been in that part of Midtown. Is that where it's at? I've only been in New York twice. Yeah, VLAM agrees with me. Yeah, lab-grown meat could help greatly. Might not be enough to solve everything, but it could be a great start, let's say. And then your godfather gives you crap for driving a performance vehicle. Oh my God. As we seen from the United Nations statistics, animal agriculture is responsible for more greenhouse gas emissions than all of transportation combined. So, you're like, I guess is he a scientist? He could probably do a green audit of your life, and compare it to his life and see who's actually putting out more greenhouse gas emissions. You, by not contributing to animal cruelty and exploitation, eat a vegan diet, great for the environment, doing it day in and day out for years, versus someone who contributes to animal cruelty and exploitation, but say they drive the most efficient car in the world. I don't see how that could catch up to the environmental toll that animal agriculture has. What's that, AJ? Speaking of save the whales, the government is going to drill for oil in the Gulf, the rice whales habitat. There are only about 50 left, so that may make them extinct. Damn, I didn't hear about that. Huh. I wonder if this whole war was like to get people and nations okay with drilling again. Late Mal, it's crazy. You and your environmental godfather there. Oh, Carmichael, you went on the Empire State Building at night? Nice. That sounds amazing. Well, he's a wetlands biologist with the EPA. Well, it sounds like he knows his science, but it sounds like his ethics and morals are not consistent. Sami, you want to know my opinion on your previous question? Okay, let me see if I can find it, Sami. Sami Ahmed. Let's see. Okay, I found it, Sami. What's good? What's good, Ryan? In the same time, the number of vegans in the world is increasing, so is animal consumption. And so how effective is the movement from an outcome perspective, do I think, so far? I mean, it could just show that people, and this is a true fact, people on average consume more meat now than they did in prior decades. If you compare meat consumption per person or per capita, like in the 60s, 70s, compare it to like the 2010s, yeah, people are consuming more meat. So think about how much more meat would have been consumed if there were if veganism stayed this, if it hadn't grown since 1970. So just because you're not seeing meat consumption necessarily crash because veganism went up, doesn't mean veganism is a fail. I mean, veganism is, again, it's just, you only can control what you are doing. It's like, just because if I'm not seeing the graph of meat consumption go down, I'm not going to stop. It's not like, oh, well, it's not doing any good, I'm going to eat a hamburger and steak then. It's because I still have my ethics and morals. So it shows that you're really doing it, for animals. And you're doing what you can do. Yeah, collectively, it would make more of a difference if more people were vegan. But I understand. I can't control that. A lot of things in this world and universe are completely out of my control, and I cannot control how many people are vegan or are not vegan. So I don't worry. I try not to worry too much in life about things that I can't control. That's the kind of thing that gets you depressed. That's kind of like one of the definitions. An inability to control things are out of your control. But anyway, yeah, I do what I can, and it's really easy for me when I go to the store to buy plants and eat plants and cook the plants. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep eating plants no matter what. I'm pleased to see when more people are vegan than not vegan, But yeah, it doesn't really change what I do as a person or what I do as an activist. So hope I answered your question there. And late model brings up another point too, as countries that were previously, you know, I don't know if it's proper anymore to call them like third world or whatever, and they become more developed. It's a known fact. Don't take my word for it. This is a known fact that as they become more wealthy, have more income, they eat more meat. They don't want to eat the peasant food that they were forced to eat when they had more poverty. It's the kind of food I eat though. I eat this. I laugh at this. I love my peasant food. I love my rice, beans, and potatoes and stuff like that. You know, but people think they're entitled once they get more wealth. We deserve to eat the meat, which is more expensive and hasn't been subsidized by their governments in their countries. So, yeah, that's a fact of reality too. So in the countries that had been eating meat already, the first world developed countries are typically eating more meat. I know it's true, not in all of them, but in the United States for sure. And as more countries rise out of poverty and have more affluence, they eat more meat too. So it's all going up. The amount of vegans went up compared to, like, say, 1970, and the amount of meat consumed by the rest of the population who aren't vegan went up as well. So it's all connected. Okay, Sami, you agree that you get that we can only control variables in our hands. I mean, I wish I were, like, you know, a politician that could do something about it, or a billionaire that could do something about it. I'm not. So, yeah. I just do what I can, and I hope it can catch on more, you know, but I don't want to contribute to animal cruelty and exploitation. I don't care if it's, you know, a drop in the bucket right now, but I don't want to be part of it. It's just like saying, like, oh, you know, rape. Rape will never end. So why should I stop? Not this ever was. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. I'm going to keep doing this immoral thing because, you know, the amount of rapes every year don't really seem to decrease. It seems to be like a steady graph. I'm not making light of rape or anything like that. I'm just saying, just because, you know, or murder, you know, just because the murder rate doesn't go down, I'm going to do some murdering. You know what I'm saying? Just because the rates don't decrease in a way that you want doesn't make it right for you to do it. Doesn't change the morality. There to bring up these things, you know, but I'm just trying to make a point using the an extreme moral example like that. Oh boy, Ryan, should I have done that? Carmichael, no, I was never a big fan of the band Queen. I grew up in the 70s. I knew who exactly they were. This weren't my style of music. Yeah, not to say I disliked them or thought they were a bad band or anything, just not an aesthetic or a sound aesthetic that resonated with me. Peter, I've made several videos about lab-grown meat and animal tissue, and it's a subtle area. But anyway, let's just assume, and you don't always need to do that, but let's just assume, for argument's sake, Peter, that all lab-grown meat required animal tissue samples to make their products. Let's just assume that, okay? Let's just take it all the way, make it as vegan unfriendly as possible. Well, vegans don't do it because you don't have to eat meat. Why would you want to eat meat in the first place? It's gross. Just keep eating what you're eating. But like I said, it would make a huge difference as far as the total number of animals that are exploited and you know, killed, because right now 80 billion animals are slaughtered annually. Let that number sink in. 80 billion. Well, so how many animals would they really need to take tissue samples from? I've read they would just need small herds in the dozens or hundreds or something like that, and they wouldn't necessarily be slaughtered, be kept alive to take tissue samples from. So let's say they had to do that. If only, like, say, a couple hundred animals had to be bothered every year, not killed, to take tissue samples from, compared to 80 billion animals, I think that's a huge win for animal cruelty and a huge win for the environment. So yeah, for these reasons, I'm pro lab-grown meat in that sense. Not for me. I'll never eat it. I have no plans to, no desire to eat real meat again because it's gross and makes me want to barf when I see it. But I think it's a win. Yeah, Carmichael, yeah. Back to what I was saying before. You're going to start throwing your trash on the ground because other people are throwing their trash on the ground. So why should you be bothered to carry your trash inconveniently to a freaking trash can, right? That's for sissies. It's a pain in the ass. Just throw your trash on the ground, right? Because other people are doing it. So yeah, anyway. VLAM says, we have more power than we realize. To you, it's veganism and antinatalism. Buck stops here, as they say. Late model responds, I love babies too much to be antinatalist, but yeah, like late model, yeah, never really had this desire to have kids. I know some people, they've always wanted to have kids. Never, no. I remember when Angie met me, she was kind of fishing around because she never wanted to have kids either. So she asked, what's your thoughts on kids? I go, I never really had a big dream to have kids. I mean, if I had them someday, if it were, I might be open to it, but it's not something I'm wanting or trying to create or anything like that. So anyway, what's that, Sami Ahmed? Ryan, why do vegan doctors, I don't know what they do, like Neil Bernard, like to try to push veganism from a dietary perspective. I think that's because that's what they're trained in. They're doctors. They're not philosophers like I am. So I'm coming from I'm using the ethical arguments, logic, philosophy, critical thinking, reasoning. These guys are trained in, medicine, health, nutrition, and stuff like that. So they're pushing that angle. Yeah, I agree. Veganism is about animal cruelty and exploitation, not health. But like I talked about earlier, it's totally reasonable. And many of us have had this happen to us firsthand, not me. Kind of a little bit, but not really. A lot of people come to veganism through plant-based diets. They hear messages like Dr. Neil Bernard. They see movies like Forks Over Knives, What the Health, and so on, which are about plant-based eating. They're not saying like, it's not like Cowspiracy showing, look at all these horrible things that happen to the planet because of our obsession with killing cows. These health movies are about, look what eating plants can do for your like cholesterol and your high blood pressure and diseases and stuff like that. So it's great that they're using their experience and their expertise to show people the benefits of plant-based eating. If they were to talk about the ethics and morality of slaughtering animals in these health movies, it might turn away a lot of people at first. They might not be ready at that time when they're watching Forks Over Knives to hear something like that. So I'm okay with that. Any way that someone starts eating plants, I'm cool with, and hopefully they'll eventually see the truth of veganism at some point. So that's cool. If they come to veganism through health, this backdoor way, I'm totally down with that. Okay, but I think I addressed it before you responded there. You said, but veganism is an ethical belief, not a dietary protocol. I agree 100%. That's why I made the distinction between veganism and plant-based. You can be a plant-based person and learn about veganism after you go plant-based. If they promote vegan diets, they should outright say to their audience, be vegan for the animals, but also see the dietary benefits too. Like I said, it might have been a strategic decision in their outreach, or whatever you want to call it, their activism, to not go too much in the ethical argument. A lot of people don't want to hear that. Think about it. I'm saying this as kindly as possible. Humans are inherently kind of selfish, right? We all are, right? To different degrees for different people, but we're all inherently selfish. So if people hear something about, oh, if you eat this way, it's going to do things for me and my body and make me healthier and better, that appeals to that selfish instinct that we have. People are easier to respond to something like that rather than going through this whole ethical dilemma about animals being exploited for food, clothing, and stuff. They might not be ready at that point. So, but as far as I know, Bernard is an ethical vegan, but it might not be the primary message of his activism, and he has no obligation to do that. He should use his expertise as a doctor and make some mention of animal cruelty and exploitation. I think would be a great idea, but he's under no obligation. If all he's doing is attracting people to plant-based diets to get them in the door, I'm cool with that, VLAM says, I think, quote, vegan diet is just an easy shorthand. Otherwise, you'd have to say 100% plant-based or plant-exclusive, too many syllables. Yeah, I agree with you, VLAM. Yeah, plant-based, as I said, It has no precise definition. Like, what does plant-based mean? Like, Paul Saladino says he eats an animal-based diet. What does that mean? It means he eats pickles and all these vegetables and fruits and stuff like that. What is plant-based? I mean, we want it to have a certain meaning, but it doesn't. Vegan diet has a precise meaning because the word vegan has a precise meaning without any animal products. So if you say vegan diet, yeah, it's a diet that is void of all animal products. So doesn't mean the diet is ethical or you're doing it for ethical reasons or anything like that. It's like say I'm getting some vegan ice cream. Doesn't mean the ice cream is ethical or anything like that. It just means it follows the standard of what vegan food must require, you know. So I think it's okay for them to call it a vegan diet and not necessarily have the ethical, moral thing behind them. And I'm talking about like vegan doctors. I'm not talking about people like me or anything like that. I'm a philosopher. That's my axe I want to grind. I want to discuss vegan ethics and morality. That's my thing. But these guys, they're not trained in philosophy and reasoning. They're medical doctors or health professionals, so they should exploit the fact that they have this expertise, knowledge, and run with it. Oh, Sami, I don't have any data. Are you saying that like someone like Dr. Neil Bernard never promotes veganism? Can anyone vouch for that? Like Late Model, you mentioned something that he has some mention of veganism and morality in his books and stuff like that. Can someone check that out? I don't have the time to go fact check this right now. But the thing is, Sami Ahmed, the thing is, we don't need vegan police officers like yourself. I'm sure you have good intentions. I'm not calling you out for being a bad person, but let Dr. Neil Bernard and others do what they're doing, okay? I don't think bitching about them online is helping anything. That's the thing. We shouldn't be attacking each other. We should be supporting each other. I don't like this thing, and I'm not saying you're doing it, but I hear this all the time. Oh, this person's not vegan enough. Like, no, they've been vegan for like 30 years, and they've written like 5 books on just let them do their thing. I don't like this competition. Like, I'm more vegan than you, or they're not vegan. Just let them do their thing. You know, if you don't like the way they're doing it, then just don't follow them. If it really bugs you that they don't talk enough about animal cruelty and exploitation, and I understand that's something that might rub some people wrong, totally fine. There's plenty of other people like myself that do constantly, every day when I make a video, I show the definition of what veganism, and we talk about animal cruelty and exploitation. We talk about the ethics and morality around veganism. But you know, if doctors don't want to get into that, totally cool. You don't have to watch them. There's plenty of vegan activists I don't give a shit about. I think they're horrible people and I don't watch them. Or there's other vegans I think they're nice people, but what they're saying doesn't really appeal to me much because what they're talking about doesn't interest me. There's an audience for every vegan activist or vegan influencer, whatever word you want to put it. So yeah, just let him do his thing. Carmichael, I never got into Queen. I don't know what to tell you. They're good. Freddie Mercury's awesome. Brian May, awesome. I just never got into their thing. I mean, let me give you my aesthetic. If we're talking about like bands from Great Britain in the 1970s, here's like Pink Floyd matches my aesthetic perfectly. Like albums like, say, like Metal, Dark Side of the Moon, Wish You Were Here. You know, that's my aesthetic. This beautiful sadness, kind of spacey and atmospheric and textured, not really too hard rocking, more about mood and sensual vibes than like, you know, yeah, we're fucking, you know, I'm not saying that's Queen or anything, you know. And I also as far as like I like the more mysterious side of Led Zeppelin. I don't like their hard rock and band. No, it's just that rock and roll. No, I'm not into that kind of thing. But songs like, say, like No Quarter, Rain Song, even like Stairway to Heaven, you know, stuff like that, like Tangerine, you know, the third Led Zeppelin 3, you know, stuff like that, like more moody, melodic kind of thing. Not to say Queen doesn't have that, but their aesthetic's a little off from the thing that really resonates with me. These guys like my little Led Zeppelin thing there. Vegan anthem. So am I good with anti-childish police? I don't know what you're talking about. Can you expand on that? Is that like a concept? Is that a person? I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, Stevie Wonder is a little bit closer to my aesthetic. Yeah, I think I like Stevie Wonder a bit more than I know I do like Stevie Wonder more than I like Queen. Not to say that I should compare the two or anything like that. Anyway, hey Heidi, you didn't miss anything? I still don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry, the vegan anthem, anti-sexist police. I don't know what you're talking about. Anti-racist police. Well, here's the thing. What you're talking about there is different. What you're saying here is yeah, racism is morally reprehensible and wrong. You know, sexism is morally reprehensible and wrong. But a vegan activist in of his or herself is not morally wrong. You might disagree with their particular form of vegan activism, but the vegan activist, the person, him or herself, is not morally wrong. Do you understand? It's like you're making a category area in your comparison here. Yeah, I agree. If you want to be an anti-racist police, awesome. In fact, that's one of my pet peeves here. Let me show you something that'll get you booted off here. Rule number 1, if you're being a racist, sexist, ageist asshole, me or one of my moderators will boot you right out of here. However, if you are a vegan activist and you do things in a way that I don't like, I just won't watch you. But I want you to keep being a vegan activist. I want you to spread your message. I want you to convert people. Convert people like it's a cult, right? You know? I want you to spread the message and make people understand that they should stop eating animals and eat plants. Then why not for rejecting fundamental speciesism? What are you talking about? What am I not doing right here? You're suggesting you think I'm a speciesist or something? I mean, here's again, are you coming here to attack me? Again, why? Am I not doing vegan activism in a way that resonates with you? My vegan activism is not aligned with what your sense of vegan activism should be. If so, you have every right to believe that, but you have no right to come here and tell me to do it the way that you want. Do your way and be a great vegan anthem activist. You know, that's awesome. And watch other people's activism who are aligned with what you're looking for, but you're not going to change me. I'm, you know what I'm saying? It's like, how dare you if that's what you're doing, you know? So how are you protecting animals in a way that I'm not? That's what I'm not clear on. You say I'm not attacking, I'm protecting animals as you protect from racists. What do you mean? As I protect from racists, I don't tolerate racists. If someone comes on here and starts saying, wrong one. If someone comes on here and starts saying a bunch of racist, ageist, sexist, bigoted crap, I boot them out of here. I don't engage with it anymore. I ban them from my eyesight and my channel, and they're gone. So I'm not sure what you're saying here. Like, what should I be doing? Yeah, it's this level, I'm getting the level 5,000 vegan vibe. So you getting that, Uncle, too, that I'm not vegan enough, I'm not doing it well. Like, you're up here, you're doing veganism on this perfection level, you're doing it completely 100% right, and people like me are down here, and then Dr. Neil Bernard, he's down here. There's like levels to like veganism. Is that the vibe I'm getting? Maybe I'm reading this totally wrong, vegan anthem, and correct me. That's the vibe that I'm starting to get. What do you mean, what I do against racism? I'm not an anti-racist activist. I showed you. All I simply do is if someone comes here and is racist, I ban them. I do not let them have the right to engage with me or my audience any further. So I'm not sure you're saying what I do to protect against racism. I just ban them and simply move on. It's really not that deep or philosophical. I just don't let assholes come into my life and poop in here. I'm not sure what your issue is. It's not obvious. Just tell me what, just don't say beat around the bush. just speak very plainly and clearly, Vegan Anthem. What is wrong with what is the disagreement here? That I'm not criticizing Neil Bernard or something? Just be clear. I'm not sure what the disputed issue is. You cringed hard when I said it's not that deep. What did I say there? What did I say that tripped you out? You think it's my shirt, Carmichael? I'm not sure. I'm tired today too. I played basketball for a bit, so I'm a little not like 100% like hardcore right now as far as my mental prowesses go. But anyway, hey Damien, some relief for the SoCal region. Thank you so much. Nothing bad has happened here in the region right now, has it? But thank you so much, guys. You guys have been super generous tonight. Thank you so much. Let's see. Sami, I don't know how much fiber I eat in a day, but I assume it's quite a bit. I'm always eating like grains and vegetables. I have oatmeal and cereal that's full of fiber stuff. So I really don't know. All I can tell you, and I eat bananas all the time too. Every morning I wake up, have a banana, get back from the gym, I have 5 bananas smoothie today. I'm pooping, guys. So I know I'm getting plenty of fiber by how frequent and how soft my stools are. Vegan Anthem. It's not spam. There's a toggle in Streamlabs that I have on that blocks comments that are all caps or mostly all caps. Not because of you, but often when anti-vegans come here and they want to, I'm eating meat right now, take that vegan. Did you like my little hater voice there? Anyway, they typically do it in all caps. So it's like a safety net I have. Yeah, sometimes a vegan or a non-hater will type something in all caps for emphasis or something. I apologize for those getting caught up. You know, and maybe if I can remember, I'll turn it off. I honestly can't remember the last time some meat eater came here and said some shit like that. So I should probably turn it off. Honestly, guys, it's probably been at least a year since a meat eater got all caps. So it's catching more of you guys. So I'll try to remember before next week to turn that off. No trolls tonight. Will we get one? I think we're going to go troll free tonight, Carmichael. I'm pretty sure. And VLAM says, in defense of Dr. Neil Bernard, she says, he is a god-tier vegan, and no one could tell you otherwise. Awesome. Yeah. I met him one time at a like a, I don't know what you want to call it, like a vegan health conference or something like that. Really super chill, nice guy. Seriously. I mean, not to say most vegan doctors I meet are assholes or anything like that, but he seemed really super nice. Like, God, I wish he was like my neighbor. I'd go chill with him or something like that. Really cool dude. No need for you guys, you nice vegans, to troll me or anything like that. It won't be the same because I can't torture you with logic, you know, and do it sincerely, knowing that you already know the arguments and everything. So no, it won't work. But I thank you for thinking of me like that. It's not like I need to have trolls or anything like that for my vegan activism to feel fulfilling or anything like that. The older I get, guys, I'm cool with having less and less conflict in life. The modern living is already conflicting enough. I mean, you can just get so much shit from people just in the non-vegan aspects of my life. You know, people online. You know, so it's cool. It's one reason why we're engaging less on just social media in general. Just to not have these toxic people have access to your thoughts and consciousness. You know, I don't want to give them that real estate of my mind. So. Yeah, anyway, oh, we're back at a Vegan Anthem. When I see an Amber Alert, they do it the same way. I see such words in the same category of urgency. Which words are you talking about? I remember I was asking you to tell me, like, what is the issue that we're disagreeing on? I think it's just that we were just, if I understand it right, tell me if I got it right, Vegan Anthem. The way I understand what you're saying is that you disagree with how some vegan activists, particularly a large majority of vegan doctors, don't really say much about animal cruelty and exploitation. They're talking more about health and stuff. Is that it? And you think that's wrong, or are you just personally not vibing with it and it's not aligned with how you feel? So let me know if I got that right. I tried to be as charitable to what you're saying as possible. I'm not trying to put words in your mouth. That's just how I'm understanding your position. Not trying to straw man you. Yep, you got that right, late model. Central nervous system regulation for the wind. I mean, I'm not sure how most people just don't filter their social media, let any news source come their way, any misinformation filled idiot on Facebook come their way. Really picky about what gets through to my eyeballs. Okay, you didn't answer my question there, vegan anthem, but yeah, I like that early definition of veganism. I think the this one here is just an expansion of it. It keeps the keyword exploitation of animals by man, expands on it, like, So yeah, I agree with that. But what does that have to do with our disagreement here? That you wish that Dr. Neil Bernard would talk more about animal cruelty and exploitation or something like that? If so, we have to go and quantify that, because I'm just taking your word that he never talks about it. And I don't know. I haven't read any of his stuff in a long time. Maybe he does just a little bit, but I don't know. Is that your problem? Is you wish he would talk about stuff like that more? The stuff that I'm talking about all the time here. You wish Neil Bernard talked about that as well? Is that what you're saying? Okay, so you're saying just that maintains veganism as veganism and animal exploitation free as such. I'm not sure if your sentence structure is like I'm not sure my brain is grasping your sentence structure, but I think what you're saying there is, yeah, a definition like what you showed, the 1949 definition or something like this, defines what veganism is as it's the core of what veganism is. Its essence. It's not about health. It's not about the environment, and it's not about what it's going to do for you and spiritually or physically. It's all about animals. It's all about not treating animals as property, as objects to be exploited. So I get that. I understand what veganism truly is. So I'm still not sure what the crux of our dispute is here, Vegan Anthem. Okay, I didn't see your thing there, Carmichael. You said, yeah, your new job at FedEx. There is a basketball hoop and a ball, and after each shift, you've been running around, shooting hoops, and practicing your shots. Oh, cool. Well, maybe we'll play sometime. Let's see. This dichotomy is critical, not to think of animals as objects. Yeah, I agree. Is that how it's a dichotomy means like splitting from something. So I'm not sure what you're talking. What's the other side of the dichotomy? But I agree. That's to me, veganism. There's no dichotomy. It's all about animals, not treating animals as objects to be exploited. So what's the dichotomy? Because I agree. That's what this pretty much says. Animals are have inherent moral worth and should not be treated as objects to be exploited. So what's the dispute then? Okay, between veganism, which is anti-exploitation, and animal exploitation free. Let me wrap my head around that. Okay, I understand veganism. You're against animal exploitation. What is animal exploitation free? Can you expand on that? Is there a name for that? Like veganism is what veganism is anti-animal exploitation. Is there something that is animal exploitation free? I'm not like what. I guess I'm not getting your distinction here. So enlighten me. Maybe I will learn something here tonight. Don't quit veganism because I wasn't into your favorite band there. Okay, let's see if we learn something here, guys. I'm not sure where this is going exactly. So he says, so then, if it is about benefits of not violating the right to not be enslaved, it is clear that it is animal exploitation free. Oh, I think what you're saying is people are eating plants for a reason that's not about animal exploitation. Is that what you're saying? I guess we're just describing it in two ways, but it's the same idea. You're calling it, you're describing it in your way. And I'm just saying, yeah, people that come to veganism for health, I'm not veganism. Some people come to eat what is known as a vegan diet, but they don't do it for ethical reasons. They do it for other reasons. It could be for health. It could be for environmental reasons, whatever. So I agree. Some people eat a diet that looks identical to like what we eat as vegans, but the intention is not the same at all. It comes for a different reason. So if it's your health, it's animal exploitation free. I guess you could call it that. I mean, yeah, okay, yeah, we're just splitting hairs here. I'm not sure how we're having a disagreement. We're calling the same concept. We agree that there's these two concepts. You can eat a vegan diet for ethical, moral reasons, i.e. veganism, or you can eat it for other reasons. You can call yourself plant-based or environmentalist or anything, but you can eat the same diet and have two different intentions. For us, there's only one intention, animal cruelty and exploitation. And the dichotomy is all the other ones under one umbrella. You can put them all in there, environmental, health, whatever you want to call it. Woo-woos. You get better woo-woos if you eat just plants. That's what the raw people fall under too. My woo-woos are better. I have all this clarity and I can talk to the spirits and shaman shit better because I eat plants. So yeah, there's veganism and there's all these others. And they're separated because only one of those, the veganism funnel, is the one that is the reason, the motivation is you're against animal cruelty and exploitation. So anyway, I think we figured it out. I think we figured out what the difference is. Diet implies ownership of one who is their own. I'm not sure if I understand that. You have to expand upon this. I don't know why you have to look at it like that. I'm just saying, if you're vegan, you know why you're vegan. You're doing it for ethical reasons. If you're eating plants for some other reason, you're not vegan. So I'm not sure what the fight is. We just call the same thing in two different ways. If you want to use your language, if it makes you feel better and aligns with your way of activism, go for it. I'm not saying you're wrong or anything like that. I just don't wrap my head around it the same way you do. Okay. So anyway, I think we spent enough time on that. It sounds like Vegan Anthem, you're really concerned about people using language in the way that you demand it be used. I don't see anything wrong about the way I'm describing the distinction between someone who eats plants for moral, ethical reasons versus someone who eats it for other reasons. I don't think I'm being imprecise. I don't think I'm being unfair to the animals or anything like that. So if you don't like the way me or others describing it, it's cool. We can disagree, but I don't think I'm any less of an activist because I use what I think is really clear, precise wording that's easy to understand and precisely captures the essential differences between veganism and all other motivations for eating plants. I don't think I'm being dishonest, imprecise, or anything like that. It's clear, easy to understand language. But if it's not the kind of wording you need to hear or you feel is right, cool. That's totally fair. It's a free world, free country. And I'm cool with that. But I think we've discussed this enough. So yeah, if you don't like my kind of activism, that's totally cool. Most people don't. That's why I'm a small vegan channel. I'm a music producer first and foremost. And, I'm passionate about veganism, and that's why I still dedicate time. 13 years now. My channel now is 13 years old, starting tomorrow in like a couple hours. 13 years on YouTube. So anyway, So what else have we been talking about? Yeah, it's almost time, guys. Almost time for tonight's live stream to be over. You know, I wasn't a big fan of tofu for the longest time as well, hippieista. I mean, I liked it in my early days as a vegan. Then I kind of moved on. I wouldn't eat all this pure stuff. And once I got over that, no, tofu is pretty freaking pure. It's barely processed, you know. Then it's cool. Angie makes some really great, tasty dishes. Tofu scrambles, tofu stir fries. You know, it's a really versatile food. It's packed with like great nutrients, you know, like legume, you know, power, you know, protein, and you know, so it's, you know, there's no reason to like not eat tofu for philosophical reasons or whatever. You know, if you don't like it, you think it tastes like crap, totally get it. A vegan anthem, that's cool. You know, I say, you know, I think the best, if you really truly want to have people come over to the side of eating plants in a vegan way, I think the best way, and this is my opinion, is to try to connect with them on a level that they're going to be receptive. If you come to a lot of people making these subtle philosophical distinctions that most people aren't ready to understand as just regular old meat eaters, you know, if you come to them and speak to them in a way that could very potentially be confusing, I think your interaction with these people might not yield productive results. And again, what is the goal of veganism? The goal in my mind is to get people to become vegan. And the way to do that is to meet them at a level where they're receptive to the message. So if you come at them with too much philosophy and guilt, you might not get a lot of action. You might be correct in your argument, precise, correct, 100%. I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong, but if the goal, what is the goal? To win an argument, which is kind of a personal, selfish goal, or is the goal to actually get someone to actually, hey, my discussion with this vegan person was enlightening. I learned all this stuff and I'm thinking about it. I'm leaving this interaction with positive thoughts, you know. It's like, wow, this person gave me some cool stuff to think about. Or you want them to come, hey, I don't know what they were talking about. I just said all this philosophy stuff, I didn't get it. That's why when I talk to people in a friendly way about veganism, I don't bring up philosophy stuff. I don't bring up these distinctions. I try to meet them at where they're at. Sometimes at the gym, I'll talk to people solely about healthful stuff. I'll say, yeah, we're playing basketball. You see Chris Paul? He had a revival of his career in his late 30s after he started eating plant-based. And he's vegan too, from what I understand. I mentioned that. Remember when the Lakers won the championship in 2020? JaVale McGee was eating a vegan diet. I just bring this stuff up. I don't want to talk to him about like the philosophical stuff, about like the definition. At this point, I'm just trying to leave them with some kind of positive information about veganism that they'll take with them. It'll take root in their head. And next time they talk to me or someone else, they'll already be on a good starting point. Like, oh yeah, I remember that past conversation about veganism I had. That was a good one. Let's expand on that. So that's how I go. So that's my tip to you. That's how I see things. My goal is not to win an argument, not for me to feel good like I'm right. My goal is to try to make as many people become vegan as possible. They're probably not going to go vegan that very same day, but I'm hoping they will at some point. And that's what I'm doing. I'm doing it for the animals, not doing it for me, not my ego. You know, I don't care. I mean, I care, but I don't care about being right. I care about people actually doing it. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. If you disagree with that, again, you're right to. But if you do disagree with what I'm saying, I really suggest you do some deep and hard thinking about what your goal is for veganism. Is it for you to accomplish something, or is it for actually accomplish something and like some like personal thing? Or is it really to get people to not be eating animals anymore? So anyway, guys, your caps lock key got stuck, VLAM. It looks like you were cool. It looked like the bot, my bot didn't get pissed at you. So cool. So anyway, guys, I want to thank you guys. You guys are so generous tonight. I can't thank you enough. Thanks so much. Start off with AJ with her generous weekly cult dues, and Late Model sold some of her Tesla stock for me to leave this nice super chat for the California soy latte. And Damien gave me some relief for the SoCal region. So thank you so much, guys. And I will put it to good use. I will take Angie out for something sometime soon. And yeah, we'll enjoy a little bit of that. So thank you so much, guys. Thanks for making our lives a little bit more pleasurable with the super chat tips, and just pleasurable just by spending some time with me here. Thank you too, Carmichael. We'll add that into the fun there. So when we go out next time, gee, you guys gave me some decent money here. 46. Shoot, I can go out to a dinner or something. We'll think about that. But they'll probably save it for a little bit. Actually, a lot of money went out this week for a lot of our expenses. But anyway, thanks so much, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you, Peter, who was here in and out, and Uncle here the whole time. Uncle, holding it down, man. You're hardcore. Thanks. Yeah, no trolls got through, but I don't think any trolls tried to get through tonight, huh? But it was fun, as always. I'll try my best to get a regular video out next week that doesn't involve that crazy Raw guy again and doesn't involve April Fools. I'll try to get a regular video out for you guys and back with the live stream next Friday. So thanks, guys. Thanks for spending your time with me. I really appreciate seeing you guys here every week. And, hopefully you guys get something out of it too. And you must, because you guys are coming back just like I am too. So thank you so much. Yeah, I guess that's it, guys. So yeah. Happy Holiday Vegan, 13 years old now, starting tonight at midnight. So awesome. Who knew back then, 2013, that I'd be sitting here doing a live stream in 2026 with y'all. They didn't even have live streams back then, so I couldn't have ever thought that. So anyway, guys, thanks so much. Thanks for being part of my life for all these years. Spend your Friday nights with me, and I will see you next week. Remember, until then, it doesn't suck being vegan. Peace and chill, guys.